Hello and welcome back to another super exciting episode of What the Buddy and Kreese. We're your hosts. I'm Buddy.
And this is Super Duper Kreese.
Super Duper Kreese. Cool, man. So, what's been happening?
It's Halloween.
Yeah, we're coming.
Dude, there's all kinds of stuff popping right
Halloween week. Yeah.
The energies are everywhere.
Oh yeah, they're off the chart.
They are.
I can even tell it. Yeah, you can even tell at work last night. It was, it was like crazy hate energy. It was like everybody was in a super hurry to get and it's like 8 o'clock at night. Where are you going?
Well, here's the funny thing is, we were at home yesterday, Angie and I, just doing normal Saturday
evening stuff. Yeah,
just hanging out. And then finally I was like, you know what, we were gonna make some tater tot dish, Mexican dish. It turned out to be crap. We ended up having to go to fast food anyways.
Oh man.
Or we ended up getting Jimmy John's instead because it turned out bad. But I needed a few more items, so I went over to the local grocery store, and I was fine when I left the house. I was, I feel good. It's getting cooler. It's nice. Time I left the grocery store, and they were busy, but they weren't busy.
Right.
In that sense, it wasn't crazy. So as I check out, get the stuff I need, I'm not rushed, handle business and get through the machine. But as soon as I get in the car and leave, I'm just like, just in a pissy mood all of a sudden. And I come home and just fucking pissed.
Now, were you hungry?
Fuck?
Were you
no, not yet.
No, so you weren't hangry.
No,
you were angry.
Just fucking pissed. Just angry, just mad. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And so I ended up having to smudge and clear myself.
Right.
Clear my energy and start over. Yesterday's energy was funky, just everywhere, especially in the evening.
I could feel it too, yeah, for sure.
And the shadow people are running amok right now. Like crazy. Sure. It is October. It's usually happens.
We're getting ready.
So, yeah. So, things are just popping off right now.
Yeah. It's a good time to be in tune with the world of paranormal, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you got something for us, huh? You have experiences in the past.
Of course, me. Yeah. Always have something.
Always got a few. Always got a few in the pipe, just in case.
So a few years ago, I was working at the same mental health facility. And a few other stories, and for whatever reason, that always seems to be a popping story.
Right. For obvious reasons.
Ooh, I'm getting all choked up about it, folks.
It's not Corona, is it?
No.
That's good.
No, I'm not that lucky. No, just kidding. Right. I'm just kidding. So, obviously, if you recall, I did work graveyards and whatnot.
Right, correct, yes. The overnight shift.
And we had a large area, 25 acres.
Okay.
Multiple buildings on the property that we had to cover and, cruising around. And one of the buildings that we'd cover, and when I say cover is we go check, make sure there are no patients in there.
Part of your nightly rounds.
Correct. Make sure the staff didn't leave a patient in this building.
Oh my gosh.
It's happened.
Oh no.
Believe it or not, it's happened, So everybody's accountable, and not me. It wasn't me.
Right. Right.
We just make sure the doors are locked, lights are off.
Right.
It's part of our normal routines in the evening, late evening. And this is about 1 a.m.
Okay.
I take it back. It was usually did this round of locking the doors and everything usually happened between 11:30 and 1.
Okay.
By the time we hit all the buildings on the property.
Lots of buildings takes a little longer.
Patrolling,
Right.
So, and I was assigned to the vehicle patrol, which was probably my favorite post all the way around.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because I just drove a pickup truck around the property and checked doors and gave people breaks when they needed breaks. And,
there you go.
For 8 hours. So I like that shift.
Yeah.
That's the post I like.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
So one of the buildings we had was the non-denominational church. And the reason they called it non-denominational church is because they, again, any religion, if you need a religious
just like at the hospital.
Correct.
It's not a Catholic. It's not a Christian. It's not a Mormon or whatever.
Correct. It's just a religious location. Yeah. But this was a full-blown church. It had choir section. It had, it had offices for 3 or 4 different religions, for the deacons, pastors, rabbis, you name it.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It was there. So
I didn't mean to forget rabbis.
And then they had an area. They had another separate. I'll call it a grief room.
Okay.
So if somebody was upset about something, they could talk to them in there and so forth. So it was
they can be away from the flock and
correct,
and not have to feel the pressure.
Correct. Okay. Perfect. So it's a decent sized little building. We'd get out, check the doors, make sure they're locked, walk around. We'd go inside, make sure all the lights were off, and double check it. So this night, I for whatever reason, I decided to do this building last.
Okay.
And there were no particular orders as to how you lock the building. You just make sure they just all got locked.
You just had to make sure you covered all the buildings.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So this night, I'd been cruising around, and it was been a slow night, and there wasn't anything going on. It was just happened to be the last building of the night that I decided to do. Honestly, I was probably trying to kill time. Probably walking real slow to all the buildings that night. Yeah. So, and then this building, you park out in front, and then you get out and you walk around it first.
Right.
Then you check the door, you go inside, you turn off all the lights. And this building was kind of funky because it actually had two sections to it, where you had the church part on one side.
Okay.
And then the other side was administrative offices. They were separate buildings, but they were literally right next to each other.
Okay.
So there were two separate buildings you check.
Right.
Well, I'd already checked administrative buildings early in the evening.
Yeah.
So I'd already been there, gone left, and then come back.
To the main chapel or
correct.
Whatever, yeah.
So I'll go through as usual, and I start doing my walkthrough, and I see the walkthrough. I'm doing the outside, I'm checking, make sure everything's locked and the door's locked. Okay, yeah, there's no lights on that I can see. Doesn't matter, I still got to go in and check the lights anyways.
Absolutely.
So I walk up, and I actually went back to my truck to get a drink.
Okay.
I take a quick swig of water, and not bourbon, it's water.
Yeah. Right.
And then I shut the truck door, and I walk back up to the front door. And they're heavy, old school. I would almost say they had that 70s architecture door.
Okay.
There were little squares all throughout as the decorations, but then they had the big block squares in the middle sticking out. To me, it had a real 70s vibe.
I got you. Okay.
So it was
I think
dark,
we can all picture.
Yeah,
that.
it was dark wood with big old handles.
Yeah.
And so I go in, I pull my big old ring of keys out, and ding, 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 with all the keys,
through, yeah,
and a little jingling.
Right.
And I go to put the key in, and the key's not in. I go to put the key in, and from on the inside, something or someone slams the door as hard as they could.
Okay.
Like
towards
me, like they ran into a crash. The door is locked, so the door is not going to open. It's locked. It's padlocked, or it's deadbolt locked.
Yeah.
From the inside, but it, when you push against the door real hard, it kind of pops out at you and then goes back. That's exactly what it did.
Wow.
And it was like full force. It got hit full force as I went in there, and I was just like, it made me take a step back, like, whoa, what the?
Right.
But then I get into pissed mode.
Sure.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no, you just didn't do that to me.
Right.
So I hurried up, shoved that key in there, opened that door, and went in there. And as soon as I went in, because I was like, oh no, fight is on. We're challenged.
Right.
Now, I don't think this is a person.
Right. Oh, okay.
No, I know what this is. This
All
is
right.
something for not nice energy in this building.
Okay.
And I'm like, hell no, you're not doing that to me or anybody else.
Right.
I was pissed.
Just to stop you right there, what made you... What of the scenario leading up to this point made you just said you knew it wasn't a person, so what were like the telltale factors that you observed or witnessed?
Experiences on the property.
Okay, experiences on the property.
My experiences throughout my entire career. And 2, we'd already done the head count, so we know it's no patients.
Okay, so you knew all patients were accounted for.
Yeah, and we knew where all staff was, so it wasn't...
Okay, and this isn't accessible by anybody from outside? There's not
No, because there's 20-foot chain link fence with barbed wire running around the top.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, good questions. So, that's why I was like, oh, hell no.
Right.
But you got to remember, this property, we see a lot of things. We've had a lot of paranormal experiences on this property.
Right.
So,
We've
I already
talked about
know
a
what
couple
direction this is. And I'm like... And plus, when I first started there, they would say, oh, yeah, the dominated is, there's demons in there. It's non-denominational. The stories that people make up. And I say make up because some of the stories are made up. We already know that.
Sure.
But some of them are true. This thing was pissed, whatever reason, and it banged. And I'm like, hell no, I am not putting up with that shit. Whether it's from someone or something in this realm or another realm. Screw that crap.
For sure.
Well, I'm not putting up with it.
Yeah.
So I charge in there and open the door real quick and slam the door, and I just step inside. And it goes dead silent.
Wow.
Not even air, nothing. Because when you walk into a quiet building, you still hear noise.
There's something. Yeah, the AC's on, fans are running.
Or you hear the power to the light. You hear some type of
tinnitus at least will kick in. Yeah.
It was completely silent.
Wow.
Like you were in a vacuum. Nothing.
Wow.
And it was not eerily, it was like peaceful.
Okay. Oh.
Which is peaceful energy in there.
Contradictory to what you just experienced.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I know it's full of shit. Excuse my language. This will be an explicit episode.
Yeah.
It was full of shit.
Right.
The energy in there was dead silent. It was nice and peaceful. It was clearly whatever charged that door to try to scare me away didn't realize I was not going to back down. Because I could feel that it was hiding in there.
Okay.
And trying to be, you know, like when a little kid plays hide and seek,
yeah.
they try to be as quiet as possible and not move. That's the same type of feeling that was in there.
Right.
Now, this wasn't a little kid. This was something nasty
sure.
for it to do that.
Yeah.
And it was in there. And I'm like, and I just stood there and I just stared around.
Right.
Because the front door that when you open it and go in there, it leads you into the pews where everybody sits, and then to the left.
So there's no vestibule like buffer area inside the door.
You open the door. You're in the church.
You're in.
Yeah,
okay.
You're in the church.
Gotcha.
You know, you see the podiums and everything at the stage,
the pulpit
and then
up front,
all the chairs and the pews, and then
when
you walk in, you turn to the right. There's like 3 or 4 of the religious the pastors, the ministers, the rabbis' offices.
Okay.
They all share.
So there's some administration in that building too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you can call it administration. It's just their workstations.
Yeah, a place for them to put their backpack down or their briefcase.
Correct. And there were little offices with
Gotcha.
sliding glass. Yeah.
Sure.
And then you had a couple bathrooms down this hallway. And then if you continue to go left from that, when you walked in, that's where that grief room is off to the left.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So I'm sitting there and I'm going, it's going all right. And I even said out loud, I said, okay.
All right.
I see how this is going to be.
See what kind of games you're playing.
Okay, I see you're going to hide from me. That's literally what I told it.
Yeah.
So I went through and did the rest of and it was peaceful. And I'll be honest, that place is never peaceful.
Right.
The energy always feels weird.
Something.
It feels weird in there. It always has. This thing was peaceful. Like I could go in there, take a nap, and be good.
Right.
You know, make some popcorn.
Hey, now wait a minute! Don't be giving away any secrets.
Yeah.
In case
So no, I mean the energy was really like it's trying to be as peaceful as
Gotcha.
possible in there. And I'm like, no, this is bullshit. This is bull.
Right.
This is nothing but.
This
a
is
show.
a smoke screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I go through and I do the rest. I go, oh yeah, in here's clear too. Interesting. I know. So I'm kind of antagonizing it.
Right.
I'm pissed.
Sure.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
That it had the nerve to do that.
Sure.
So I go through and clear the whole everywhere.
Yeah.
Even the spot where I think it's hiding at, it was peaceful there. I think it moved.
Yeah.
When I got closer around
Sure.
the other side. Check everything. All the lights are off. Locked everything up. You know. Checked inside. Pulled the door shut. And then I go to head out. And before I get outside, I go to open the door and I'm still inside.
Right.
To open the door to push it out, to go out, I hear in my right ear, behind me, leave now. But, you know, in a real whisper. You know,
Sure.
It was like, leave now.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I see how this is going to be. Okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm done. You won't see me again tonight.
Right.
Tomorrow's another story.
That's right.
So then I go
Come
out.
back with the Ghostbusters.
Right? You should start playing the music.
Right.
So then I go out the door, pull the door shut, and I lock it, and I get back in the truck, and I just look back and okay. So it didn't do it to me again either, but
okay.
You know, so that was definitely not nice. It was
right.
pissed.
Yeah.
But I think it was pissed. For whatever reason, I don't know what initially caused it to be pissed.
Right.
And angry in there.
Yeah. Why? I mean, because you weren't even in there yet. You were.
Now every shift does that. Even day shift will go through and do a walkthrough check. Swing shift does the same thing, and the graveyards do the same thing. So I don't know if somebody did something prior to me getting in there or what it was. But it was not happy when I was there to check and it slammed the door at me. But I think it learned its lesson because this one's not backing down.
Right. Yeah, this one knows what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the other people that are naive.
Correct. Yeah, and I definitely wasn't afraid of it. So.
Right.
So yeah, that was quite interesting. And then I went and referred it. And a few people had not. You could call them similar stories. Some of the other coworkers when I shared the ones that.
Yeah, the ones that you knew that were on the same.
We believe, yeah.
Right.
But they've had some things happen, especially recently in there, but nothing to that magnitude.
Right.
The slamming of the door was by far the most aggressive up to this point.
And that sounds to me like more than a slamming of the door. That was a slamming into the door.
Into the door at me.
I kind of wonder. Well, yeah, because you said you were jingling your keys.
Yeah, getting ready to go in.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing the jingling of keys intentionally. It's a big ring of keys.
Yeah, you got a ring of keys. You got to flip through them, and
that's
you can't move keys around without making noise.
Yeah.
I mean, you grab any key ring and it's noisy.
Exactly, and that's exactly what the jingle was. So. You know, wasn't trying to let it know it was coming, and it wasn't like this was the first time for me going in there, so it was trying to make its presence known.
Yeah.
I've been in there many times.
Yeah. Right.
So
on a regular basis, every day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was interesting. And the funny thing is, it never happened again.
Right.
At least to me, it could definitely
think it
happen.
knew that its days were numbered if.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to get anywhere with me. It's not going to scare me. It's not going to shoo me off or anything.
You're not going to go pee in the
corner. It knows
it
can't attach to me or anything of that nature. For sure. Energy. So, Yeah, so that it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting on that one, so.
Yeah, that kind of plays too, like, there's a prevailing theory amongst all the other prevailing theories in the realm of ghost detection, ghost communication, that the for some reason, and of course it's not, I mean, there's some science to it, but there's the ghosts, they react more to like higher pitched sounds. It might be something akin to like dogs having a super heightened sense of hearing, and the higher pitches, they hear those, and they, I think it's much of the same, much of the same effects with the ghost. It maybe pisses them off, and
I'm sure it does.
Hurts their ears or something, and that might have been, he may not have, or he or she, I don't mean to be sexist, but
it's demonic. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it might have been irritated and didn't realize that a person was on the other side of that door. Maybe just some sound of a can rolling through the facility or whatever. But anyways, so that's a good story. I like that. That's the leave now part. How did obviously I've known you forever, so I know that you were like, okay, I'm not doing this because you told me to leave. I did this because I'm leaving anyways.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. When it told me to do that, normally I would be like, I'd turn around and go, no. Yeah. And I would try to take control that you need to leave, and I tried to force it out. But I was done with my rounds. It was time for me to leave, and I was just like, okay. And then again, you do have to respect it to a certain point.
Absolutely.
Because you're not sure 100%, because it very well could have been demonic. And I do think it was demonic, but not to the point where it was wanting to challenge me, because, again, it seemed me being able to see certain things and deal with certain things. So, so I was more like, all right, chicken piece of crap.
Right.
I see how you are. You're pansy.
Right.
So I just, at that point
it was a lesser demon, like way down on the list of demons.
So it was like, all right, it's time to leave. That's like, okay, all right. Yeah. Now you're trying to be Billy Badass, and I got my back turned to you.
Sure.
Head on, face on. You can't deal with it. So I'm just like, whatever.
I wonder what would have happened though if you would have just
turned around and went back in there.
Yeah.
I wonder too.
Yeah. So
it's probably best that I did leave.
Yeah. But it seems like probably, maybe uncharacteristic of it anyways, in the fact that it hit the door with such force that you could see the door move outward. But then once you got in there, it created, a utopia for you to think, otherwise.
Well, and I think that utopia was it scared and hiding because the reaction was not what they expected.
Yeah.
Because if you
didn't jump in your car and they didn't hear
9.9% of people are going to run from that.
Exactly.
Me, on the other hand, I go running to it.
Towards it.
As quickly as I can. Yeah. And I think I overwhelmed it and caught it off guard and didn't expect that.
For sure.
So.
And then just retreated into some dark
Correct, and then told me to leave because it was trying to, again, reassert its dominance.
Right,
like,
whatever. It got done peeing itself over in the corner, so now he got his courage back.
Yeah, exactly.
Had a swig of demon beer or whatever, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a good story. I like that. That's, some of these I've heard before. I don't recall hearing that one before.
Probably not. So I had so many.
It's good to hear the new... not the new, but it's good to hear stories that I've never heard before.
Of course.
And then, of course, the favorites are always good to hear too, so. But
exactly.
Anyway, so all right, so that does it for this episode. You got anything else?
No, just get ready. Season 1's coming to an end here shortly.
Yep.
And Season 2 will start right up after that.
That's right.
Remember, reach out to us. Just be ready to listen and enjoy and have fun, ladies and gentlemen. And don't be afraid to get a hold of us.
All the social media platforms at WTBNK. We still got an email. Thankfully, we had a listener reach out to us recently, so I won't gripe anymore, apparently. No, there will be a time when I will gripe again. For right now, we're just reeling in the fact that we had somebody reach out to us.
But Buddy feels very special, although it wasn't directly towards him, but he'll take it.
I won't feel butthurt. I'm glad they just reached out to somebody. Maybe Buddy was a hard name to remember. Kreese was easier to remember. I'm not sure, but anyways.
You know.
So yeah, but that that email address is wtbnk@gmail.com.
There we
and
go.
as always, this is
Instagram and Twitter.
Yep, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Oh, and Facebook too. Yeah.
And I put a little video, so you finally get to see my face. I know Kreese has done some coming attraction videos on Instagram, especially. I did a little PSA video on my way over to Kreese's this morning, so check that out on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll probably get it on Twitter here too pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
But this has been a Loyal Family Productions and Entertainment joint. Peace.
Super duper later on.